Thank you for tuning in and supporting me. Today's video is to introduce you to the magic of symbolism. You may have noticed the spelling of magic and noticed that a K is added to the end of the word. When you see this spelling, it is to differentiate between what we know as show magic. Magic that is based on illusion and sleight of hand, much like the man who pulls a rabbit out of a hat. Magic, when spelt with a K at the end, is about controlling and bending the energies around us to bring about a desired outcome. Going forward, all references to magic in spelling will be shown with a K. All right, let's get right into it. What is a magic symbol? A magic symbol can be a picture, design, or shape that has special meaning or power for spiritual practices. It can represent an idea, concept, deity, or entity, and can be used to provide supernatural power to spells designed to bring about a desired outcome. Magic symbols have been used in many different ancient cultures and religious traditions for centuries around the world. The word symbol comes from the Greek verb "symbalon," which means to throw together as by coincidence and to veil or hide from those who are not initiated. By saying not initiated, that means those who are not aware or informed by common word of mouth or through receiving knowledge in a ceremonial manner, such as a magical ritual or membership. A good example of this would be the home decor section of a department store. There are many beautiful and rather affordable art pieces that can be obtained in these places. I myself have seen that many of the items are from or influenced by ancient magical systems. To the regular consumer, it just appears to be a cool piece to add to their home decor, but for the initiated, those in the know, they will recognize it for what it really is. In this example, I'm showing a Celtic knot. The Celtic knot is a symbol of eternity, as you can see by its interwoven intricate knots. This is an old design that grants the wearer or user of it protection. Although many of these department store art pieces are mass-produced, they can still be purchased, ritualistically cleansed, and charged to use for your magical work. Using the example of the Celtic knot, it can be hung on a wall over pictures of your family to protect them. There are several ways to use the power of these items. I'm sure you can think of quite a few. Let's start off with some rather basic symbols that everyone will recognize. The circle is a powerful symbol since it has no beginning or an end. It provides physical and spiritual protection against unwanted and uninvited entities. Because the circle has no sides or divisions, it is a symbol of equality. A round table was used for the knights of King Arthur to show that each presence was as important as the next one. Many people would recognize this symbol as the plus sign, but it is actually a cross. The vertical line represents the number 1. A basic line is the world tree that connects to the heavens, the earth, and the lower regions. And the horizontal line represents the forward and backward movement of time. When the vertical and horizontal lines come together, they create a new symbol, the cross. The cross is believed to have originated from Crete, the island of Greece, and dates further back than the 15th century BC. With the vertical and horizontal lines, it symbolizes the union of the material and spiritual, much like the sign of the cross given by Catholic priests. If you place a cross inside of a circle, then the circle is now divided equally. In the West, the cross equates with the number 4, but in China it is associated with the number 5, since the dot in the middle of the cross where the two lines intersect is included. All over the world, the cross is a symbol of protection. Because of its 4 cardinal points, the cross represents the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water, which is why many believe that the cross gave birth to the square. Much like the cross, the square represents the earth and the 4 elements. Temples and holy places of worship are generally built in the form of a square with the intent to align the 4 points of the compass. A good example would be Kaaba at Mecca. Spiritually, the square defines limits and creates boundaries of protection. The triangle is a great representation of the number 3, obviously for its points. The triangle can be used for many spiritual groups that come in a triad or trinity, such as the triple aspect of the goddess, maiden, mother, and crone, or the Holy Trinity, which would be the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Sitting firmly on its base is a symbol of masculinity and used to represent fire. Flipping it upside down, it would be the symbol of water, a sign of femininity. When intertwined, they form a hexagram, a religious symbol identified with the seal of Solomon and the Star of David, showing both the male and the female aspects of God, equally balanced. Here we have triangles representing the four elements, which are popular alchemy symbols used in various cultures and mythic traditions around the world. Okay, so let's move on from the elementary school shapes and move into symbols that you may have seen before but never knew what they meant. These symbols are often sold as decor, clothing, and jewelry online and in department stores, and are taken from several cultures and traditions. The Ankh, also known as the key of life, is an ancient hieroglyphic symbol that originated in Egypt. The Egyptians valued the afterlife as much as the one that they lived. The Ankh provided the key to the gates of death and what lay beyond. Emblems rooted in magic often stray across other cultures, and the Ankh is no exception. Because the Ankh represents immortality and the universe, it was adopted by the 4th century Coptic Christians, who used it to reinforce Christ's message of life after death. The Rosicrucians valued the Ankh for its representation of the balance of the feminine and masculine god forces, showing both male and female genitalia, the sun coming over the horizon, and the union of the heaven and the earth. Ankhs have been sold as jewelry and wall plaques around the world. Maneki Neko, the beckoning cat, is thought to have originated in Japan, but is found in homes and offices in both Japan and China. This adorable cat can be recognized in many Asian restaurants, and for many people represents a symbol of good luck and prosperity. The beckoning cat comes in different colors, which signify different meanings. When he appears in black, it will ward off evil. If red, he can protect against illnesses. And a gold beckoning cat, of course, is used for wealth. What the cat is doing with his paws carries a secret message. A raised right paw will bring money and happiness to the home and workplace. When the left paw is raised, it is used to attract new customers. Although rare, if you find one with both paws raised, both home and business will be profitable and happy with new customers and friends bringing good luck and prosperity. The beckoning cat can be purchased in the form of a piggy bank, keychains, and air fresheners. The claddagh is a popular symbol typically sold in jewelry as the form of a ring or a pendant. The crown stands for loyalty, and the two clasped hands represent partnerships. Traditionally used as a wedding ring, the emblem is now used to solidify romantic and platonic relationships. The claddagh was named after where it originated, in Claddagh, a fishing village of the same name in County Galway, 17th century Ireland. The elements of the design are actually much older, dating back to pre-Christian Celtic history. The Romans had a similar design called the fede, which featured clasped hands. Fede means fidelity. The claddagh is a great way to show love, friendship, and loyalty. The cornucopia, also known as the Horn of Plenty, is often found as a centerpiece for the dinner table at Thanksgiving, but can be used throughout the year with fruits, vegetables, and flowers of the season to fill the twisting basket shape in the form of a horn. The display is used to represent having boundless abundance and prosperity. The origin of the Horn of Plenty is found in Greek mythology with the story of Amalthea. Amalthea fed the infant Zeus a drink of goat's milk and was given the goat's horn as a reward. The cornucopia is also associated with the Roman goddess Ceres, who presided over agriculture, specifically corn. Use the cornucopia as a table piece or a picture of a horn of plenty filled with gold to symbolize wealth. The triple goddess, also known as Maiden, Mother, and Crone, is a symbol of the moon cycle that is highly respected in neo-pagan and feminine-based spiritual groups. The maiden is represented by the first moonlight shown after the new moon. This would be the waxing crescent moon that symbolizes new beginnings and youth. The mother is the full aspect of the moon and is depicted as an older woman, old enough for childbirth. The full moon is for bringing things to fruition and is good for harvesting of all kinds. The crone is the waning moon before it transforms into death, the unseen moon. She is filled with knowledge of youth, motherhood, and the universal wisdom needed to guide the new generations. The triple goddess of Maiden Mother and Crone is often sold in stores as wall plaques and tapestries, typically showing just the moon phases. Use the triple goddess to remind you of the power of the moon and the ever-changing phases of life. Since the moon rises in the east, this is typically the wall to display the item. This small doll is meant to resemble the founder of Zen Buddhism, the Bodhidharma Dharma. Dharma brought the teachings from India to China in the 6th century. The dolls are used widely in Japan as good luck symbols and a reminder for much needed patience. The dolls are made to look rather chunky and to resemble how Bodhidharma spent his time in deep motionless meditation for what is believed to be a span of 9 years. As he assumed the position in a cave for that long period of time, his legs atrophied. The weight inside the base of the figure allows it to wobble but not fall down, symbolizing persistence. Dharma was known to be so zealous in his meditation that he is reputed to have cut off his eyelids so that he could not fall asleep. This is why the dolls have big, staring eyes. Dharma dolls are given as a gift at New Year's with no eyes. The eyes are to be filled in by the recipient after a certain goal or wish is achieved. When both eyes are colored, the doll is burned on a shrine as an offering. Dharma dolls are available in several different colors. The flower of life consists of a series of evenly spaced interlinking circles. This design has been revered by architects and religions. This beautiful display of interwoven circles is often sold as a wall hanging, poster, and even sold as trivets. Hidden within it are subtle complexities that are meant to depict the fundamental forms of time and space. For many, the flower of life is a mystery which can unlock the secrets of the universe. This symbol is also believed to contain the Akashic records, an immense database of knowledge that reveals the secrets of all things living. By using the flower of life as a meditation focal point, it is believed to expand their consciousness and give you access to universal knowledge. There are some who even believe that the flower of life has the power to block negative energy and to promote spiritual healing. If you are seeking spiritual guidance or universal knowledge, the flower of life can lead you to self-discovery. It's hard not to notice the 6-pointed star in the middle of this symbol. The seed of life is identical to the center of the flower of life. This symbol is great for continued blessings. Ideas for use that come to mind is placing a big image of this over a fireplace. This symbol can be used as a house blessing for good health, prosperity, a joyous career, and a happy home. Metatron is an angel recognized in all 3 Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. He is known to specialize in mathematics, discipline, order, and divine timing. This symbol, known as Metatron's cube, aligns with this celestial being. I have seen this unique design on posters, wall plaques, and even on t-shirts. Use Metatron's cube for studying and developing discipline. For those who need to improve their mathematics skills, a t-shirt, wall poster, or a sticker placed on your notebook may be just what you need to improve your skill. Of course, this symbol will not replace actual study. Study what you can and use Metatron's cube to bring order to your thoughts and to retain the knowledge you have acquired. European settlers of Pennsylvania came from various religious communities, such as Quakers, Lutherans, and Mennonites. Although they may have had different doctrinal beliefs, one thing they did agree upon was the fear of those that practiced dark forms of magic. They were all aware of hexery, derived from the German word hexen, meaning witch. Symbols such as this one are painted into barns or houses to avert evil, promote good health, and even to control the weather. Many of these unique designs are family-specific, designed as a coat of arms, sometimes tooled into leather covers for family Bibles. Hex symbols display universal symbols that can be recognized around the world. Stars for good luck, hearts for love, oak leaves and acorns for strength and growth. Another image commonly found on hex symbols would be the distelfinch, which is a bird in the finch family, believed to bring good fortune. Hex symbols with 2 distelfinches brings double the luck. As I mentioned several times before, many people from different backgrounds practice forms of the occult and don't even realize it. By using symbols to ward off witches, this is indeed practicing a form of magic. Magic can be used for good or bad. Hex symbols are a wonderful way to bless your home with vibrant, life-affirming colors. The horseshoe is shaped like an R, one of the first sacred symbols that represents the vault of the heavens. Upright, it resembles a crescent moon and invokes protection. Iron that the horseshoe is made from is a protective metal that averts evil. Some believe that blacksmiths have special powers and cause these creations to become magical. People wear horseshoes as jewelry, and they hang them in their homes as decor. They can be found throughout culture, but many people, even those who grew up on farms and ranches, have forgotten their significance. Throughout the world, people use horseshoes for good luck, and others use them to ward off evil witches and the devil himself. This simply drawn but powerful symbol represents exactly what it's named for: infinity. This symbol has its origins in the Arabic numeral system that was believed to have come from India. In ancient Egypt, this symbol was used to represent the concept of eternal life and is associated with the god Osiris. The loops reflect the balance of opposites, day and night, male and female, dark and light, showing equality between opposing forces. The infinity sign stands for completion. The infinity symbol can be seen on the Rider-Waite tarot deck designed by Pamela Coleman. The magician possesses strong magical power and shows the infinity sign to illustrate the continuous, never-ending energy. Although the cherubs are now depicted as cute little childlike angels, the book of Ezekiel in the Old Testament described 4 cherubs, each having a different head. One of an eagle, one of a lion, a bull, and one with a human head. They were indeed winged creatures who guarded the throne of God and the tree of life. Cherubs are now seen as lawn ornaments, but can be enchanted to protect your home. Cherubs can be found on old constructed churches and in cemeteries to guard the graves of many young children. This symbol was found by early astronomical research in the Tigris-Euphrates around 6,000 years ago. However, it was the Pythagoras who brought the 5-pointed star to the prominent position it has today. The 5-pointed star can also be called a pentagram. Or the 5-pointed star can be called a pentacle when it's placed in a circle. Both versions represent the full elements of earth, air, fire, and water, and ether, which is spirit. The pentacle, or the pentagram, is a symbol of great power and is often used in spellcasting to receive hidden knowledge. The pentagram and pentacle is not only associated with past and modern-day pagan practitioners, but has also been used in Christian mysticism, sacred geometry, Druidry, and the Kabbalah. In Freemasonry, the pentagram is referred to as the blazing star. Okay. Believed to come from the Tibetan tradition, this symbol is used to describe the origins of the universe and has been used all over the world. The spiral here turns in a clockwise direction, mimicking the path of the sun. This is a depiction of strong solar energy and endless possibilities. The spiral can be used to dive deeper inside of ourselves. The spiral is great as a picture hung over the bed for seeking past life knowledge and great for personal transformation. Use a counterclockwise spiral to unravel mysteries and to release old habits. The yin-yang symbol is Chinese in origin from the Taoist tradition, but like many other great symbols, its design has spread throughout the world. The shape represents the connection of the opposing forces. Yin, the female, the moon, mild energies. Yang, the male, the sun, and the forceful action. The dots inside each shape borrows a color from its partner, showing balance and harmony despite being opposite. Use yin and yang to promote balance and harmony in your home and office. We just went over several common symbols that can be used for magical purposes. These items can be purchased online and in department stores in the form of jewelry, clothing, artwork, cookware, notebooks, etc. Once purchased, simply cleanse the item with holy water. If it's a paper item like a poster, cleanse it with sage or incense. Pray that it provides the energy that it's meant to, and your store purchase symbol is ready to use. Before I end this video, I wanted to discuss sigils. A sigil is another kind of symbol with a mystical or magical meaning. The word sigil derives from the Latin word sigillum, which means seal, and is the root of many other English words such as sign and signature. Originally designed to represent angelic creatures, sigils were believed to be representations of the name of the chosen spirit that would allow the practitioner to have control over it. Sigils have many uses outside of calling spirits. They can be created for personal goals and intentions. A sigil begins by creating a phrase or sentence with clear intent with what you want to achieve. Let's say you just moved into a new neighborhood and you don't know anyone. You feel a bit intimidated and want to feel safe. You write, "I am protected." One may think, isn't writing the sentence enough? Like other symbols and the meaning behind them, the goal is to be secretive, and access to knowledge of its true meaning is meant to be limited. In this case, only you need to know what your intention is. In sentence form, if someone were to stumble upon your writing, they would know what your intention is. There is nothing wrong with wanting to feel protected, but of course this sentence we are using is only an example. What if you wanted to express other desires that you were not able to discuss? Secrecy is the key. It's important for me to mention and for you to remember that by modifying the sentence and arranging the letters in a random pattern, the symbols can be absorbed into your subconscious mind, allowing it to work its magic without you obsessing over your desire with your conscious mind. Making a sigil is a two-step process. The first step is to draw it based on your intention. The second step would be to energize the object. This can be done by lighting a candle, incense, or charging under the sun or moon. Once the sigil has been magically charged, it is more than just a simple piece of art. It is a magical object. Sigils can be destructible, temporary, or permanent. How you create and charge a sigil depends on the type you'd like to create. A destructible sigil is activated by being destroyed, typically by fire. By igniting the sigil, the smoke sends it up to the heavens so that your desires manifest on the earthly plane. This sigil is typically drawn on paper or flammable pieces of wood. Another destructible sigil would be, for example, drawing an image on a food item like frosting on a cake and then eating it. Yes, magic can be performed with food. I will be making a video on food magic shortly. Keep your eyes open for it. Temporary sigils are meant to eventually fade with time. They can be drawn as temporary tattoos on the skin by using a safe marker or pen. Carving the sigil on a candle that will eventually melt is also another way to use the sigil, and of course it's only temporary. A permanent sigil is made to last, and they're meant to be active for a long time. There are times when sigils and other symbols, for that matter, need to be recharged to keep the energy active. Recharging can be done simply by placing the sigil or symbol under moon or sunlight. Examples of permanent sigils would be those painted on canvas, etched into wood, or made into pottery. The possibilities of what can be made are endless. If using paper, you can place it in a frame for display or keep it hidden. Start by defining your desires in one sentence. Always use the present tense. I am instead of I will be. Let's go back to the example. I am protected. In my video, The Divine Timetables, I go over the magical timing of spells. Make sure to watch it to find the correct time to create your sigil. If you have two desires, it's better to make separate sigils. Let's say you want to be successful in your career. A good day to create and charge your sigil would be a Thursday or a Sunday. For this example, I am acting as if this sigil is being created during the waxing moon, on a day that favors protection, which is a Tuesday. To get secretive and turn this small sentence into a sigil, the first step is to eliminate all the vowels, then eliminate all the repeated letters. I highly recommend using capital letters throughout your sentence. By marking these letters in red in this example, I'm showing that these letters are going to be eliminated. The word protected has 2 T's. I'm going to get rid of the extra T. Remember, delete all the vowels and repeated letters in your intention. The remaining letters are what will be used to create the sigil. Using a clean slate of paper, wood, or whatever surface you choose, start composing the pieces of the remaining letters one at a time. Try not to focus too much on what the drawing looks like. Many magic symbols aren't pretty, but are totally functional. In this example, I'm using the remaining letters from the sentence, I am protected. You can scatter the letters across the page or clump them together. You may notice that the letter P is placed sideways. However you arrange it, that's your choice. Feel free to add shapes to your sigil. I'm going to draw a circle around my sigil. Remember, the circle symbolizes physical and spiritual protection against uninvited entities. I decided to color the circle red to represent a fiery wall of protection and added blue inside to represent what needs to be protected, in this case, peace of mind. Blue is a great color to represent that. Whatever your intention, feel free to use colors and shapes to add to the design of your sigil. Here is an example of a piece of art that can be created as a decoration. I am using fire in a ring to symbolize protection, and I'm still using the remaining letters from the sentence, I am protected. This time, they are arranged differently, but still have the same meaning. I also added an infinity symbol in white to symbolize eternal protection from the heavens. This combines symbolism along with the use of sigil magic, which of course is another symbol. I'm creating this on my computer, but if you have painting, wood carving, or some other artistic skill, you can do something similar. Since this is designed on my computer, if I wanted to, I could save this as a wallpaper or a screensaver. There are several ways to charge a sigil. If you're making a destructible sigil, simply burning it charges and energizes it. Before setting it off in a blaze, take some time to meditate on its power. You can also chant or sing an appropriate tune to add more power. When you burn the sigil, make sure you're in a safe and quiet space without distractions. You can use a barbecue grill or another fireproof receptacle. If it's a temporary tattoo, you can charge it while drawing the symbol on your skin. Burn an appropriate incense while doing so. Feel free to sing or chant to add power. Visualize that as the image slowly fades, the effects are taking place on the earthly realm. For using the sigil on a candle, the power will be released as the flame consumes the candle, dispersing the intention into the heavens. Permanent sigils can be charged by a ritual performed on your altar or by simply running it through incense. Be sure to use the notebook you purchased after watching my video Getting Started to record the creation of your sigil. It's important to keep track of all your spell work. I don't recommend recording the image of your sigil in your notebook or your book of shadows. You're simply using the notations in the book to keep track of progress as a student of magic. Forget about the creation of the sigil and move on to other things so that the magic will begin to work. In this example, I'm just basically writing these small things in the notebook to remember and to know that I actually performed that spell. So I'm listing the date, I'm listing the time, and I'm listing the moon phase. If you were working with a specific deity, perhaps maybe you were praying to a specific deity, you might want to list that too. Also, I wrote down some basic notes about the sigil. I did not draw a copy of the sigil in the notation book. All I wrote is constructed a permanent protection sigil and used fire of wall protection incense to energize, placed in living room. Okay, so we covered a lot. There are so many symbols from all over the world, and what I shared with you is just a fraction of what's actually out there. If I showed them all, it would literally take forever. Many of you have talents in woodwork, crafting metal, painting, and even those who can sew can use symbolism in designing items with magical significance. Use your imagination and your hands to create great works of magical art. As I mentioned earlier in this video, magical symbols can be purchased at stores and online. Now you can recognize what they mean and get more use out of them, other than just seeing them as fashionable decor. Magic is in everywhere and in everything. Surround yourself with powerful objects that represent the things you want to manifest in your life. I'm looking forward to sharing more magical knowledge with you in my next video. Let the power of food revitalize your soul. Until then, abundant blessings.